We're going to go ahead and get started. All right. The clerk is working on some IT issues, so until she gets back, Vice Chair Margie, I'm trying to get to the last name instead of saying the first name. Vice Chair Wilcox is going to call the roll. Hold on, she's going to call the roll.
Is
Randy.
now joining.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, if I could have your attention, I'm going to go a little slow. Senator Gerald Allen. Here. Representative Alan Baker. Senator Clyde Chambliss.
Here.
Senator Donnie Chastain.
Here.
Senator Linda Coleman Madison. Senator Chris Elliott. Senator Sam Gavan. Representative Laura Hall. Representative Rolanda Hollis. Representative Bill Lamb. Representative Kelvin Lawrence. Representative A.J. McCampbell. Senator Tim Melson. Representative Parker Moore.
Here.
Representative I'm sorry, who is that? Representative Marcus Paramore.
Here.
Senator Randy Price.
Here.
Senator.
Hey, Sam Gavan's here, and I wasn't able to log on earlier.
All right, I have you, Senator Gavan. Thank you. Senator David Sessions. I know he's trying to log on. He has contacted me, so I'm going to go ahead and put you down, David. Try to click in. Representative Jenny Shaver.
I'm here.
Senator Bobby Singleton. Senator Roger Smitherman. Senator Jabbo Wagoner. Margie Wilcox is here. Now I'm going to go over some people that I know that told me they were going to be attending. I'm going to go over the ones that I didn't hear an answer for. Alan Baker, Representative Alan Baker.
He is on.
I'm here.
I see you.
I had trouble getting on, but I'm on now. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Senator Linda Coleman Madison. Senator Chris Elliott. Representative Laura Hall. Representative Rolanda Hollis. Representative A.J. McCampbell. Senator Tim Melson. Senator Bobby Singleton.
Bobby was next door with me.
He's next door. Okay, I see Senator Singleton coming in now. Senator Roger Smitherman. Senator Jabbo Wagoner. Okay, and then David Sessions still was trying to reach me during that, so if you can help him out, Jason, I'll send you his number.
And we'll go over that list again before we adjourn to make sure we get everybody. So, okay, with that, I'll call the meeting to order. We have the roll call, the agenda items today. First up is Ed Austin, Chief Engineer, Alabama Department of Transportation, to present the ALDOT FY 2025-2026 update. Ed?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. So everyone should have a copy of the fiscal year 26 budget in front of you. I'll be happy to, we'll go over this. If you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. Keeping in mind that, over the last several years that we've been meeting, we have started every fiscal year under a continuing resolution. Well, this year we're starting without any federal funding at all. The shutdown has presented a unique challenge that we'll have to deal with depending on how long it lasts. I think right now, as of this morning, this is the third longest shutdown in the history of the government. So we will Just have to see what the impacts of that are to our federal money specifically, which will be the first couple of lines that we show here, assuming that at some point something is done, whether it's a continuing resolution for a period of time, excuse me, or a full year's appropriation. The amounts you see on this list are the amounts we are scheduled to receive. If that changes, we can let you know.
Ed, I missed something you said earlier, that it has or has not affected us yet.
It has not yet.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So we knowing that we've been dealing with continuing resolutions for the last several years, made provisions for the November letting. We've got 28 projects still scheduled for our November letting, $115 million or somewhere thereabouts, 90-something million of federal money. We went ahead and took the steps to lock it up before the shutdown happened. But if it continues to go for several more weeks, next week we have to pull the trigger on the December letting requirements for federal funds. So you have to advertise 28 days in advance before you can accept bids. So 28 days before the first Friday of December will be the end of next week.
Isn't there a month that you do not have lettings? Is that
October, the one we're in right now.
Okay.
We don't do one in October because that's the changeover of fiscal years.
Yeah.
So we do 11 a year, and October is, typically we do it the last Friday of the month. November and December, we do the first Friday of the month to make up for that.
Combine 'em.
And that way we miss Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then January we'll go back to the end of the month.
Okay.
So what you see in front of you is the anticipated funds for both the legacy and the new programs that we've talked about in the past. Garvey bond funds for Mobile River Bridge, the State Public Road and Bridge funds, $550 million, Rebuild Alabama Act, about $265, Appalachian Development Highway System, about almost $74. Keeping in mind, we've talked about this, those are only eligible on designated corridors that's federally prescribed. We are spending that money on Birmingham North Beltline. And then our aeronautics money that comes through FAA, all told, that's about $2.3 billion. Talking about some of the appropriations and transfers that are affected, that ALDOT's affected by. ALEA gets $1.2 million a year. Industrial access is 11. This year's county engineer salary support is projected to be 9.1 million. Revenue department is about 3. State personnel 2.6. State park maintenance 500. Captive county insurance 75. So the appropriations or transfers out of the Public Road and Bridge Fund is about 27.5 million.
So Ed, remind us there, I know that used to be significantly higher. What was that peak, I say 4 or 5 years ago, 70?
Senator Coleman Madison
Yes, it was in the 70 million.
is now joining.
There was a $35 million, isn't that right? About 35? $35 million appropriation that used to go to ALEA that was addressed 3 years ago. So that's right, it was much higher than that several years ago. The appropriations and transfers are through the Rebuild Alabama Act. ATRIP 2 is statutorily required to be between 30 and 50. This year it's been set at 40 million. The local grant program, statutorily a minimum of 10 million. It is set at 15 for this year. And then the County Federal Aid Exchange, where they used to get the federal funds and now are receiving Rebuild Alabama Act funds in that place, is 26.8. So those appropriations out of Rebuild is 81.8 million.
Just to remind us, the difference between ATRIP 2 and local grant, ATRIP 2 requires it to be affected a state highway?
Correct.
And local does not?
Correct. Couple of differences. ATRIP 2 is supposed to be a project that is on or impacts the state system and has to be let through ALDOT. The annual grant program can be any publicly owned, maintained road and can be, and often is almost always addressed at the local level, either with an in-place annual bid or a locally let contract.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So what you've got in front of you next is a breakdown of our federal funds, specifically the first two anticipated funds on the previous page between the legacy and the new programs. You'll see the aid to local governments. That's large and small MPOs, CMAQ, TAP, safety, all kinds of different programs. That's a little over $153 million. County federal aid balances, when the counties came out of the federal aid program, they had balances that we were allowing them to whittle down. We're down to about $180,000 there. The next three you see are the Garvey bond debt service payments for A-TRIP, the original A-TRIP program that from back in 2012, Central Business District, and then Mobile River Bridge. Our safety program this year is going to be about $59 million. Interstate maintenance, $180. State route resurfacing, $235. System enhancement, about $171. Bridge replacement, just under the legacy program portion, is about $92 million. And then our statewide planning, a little over $20 million. Then some of the newer programs, carbon reduction is about $27 million. Protect is a little over $30 million. The other bridge formula program that was established as part of the IIJA is $45 million. NEVI, the electric vehicle infrastructure program that is administered by ADECA, is right at $17 million. And then ferry boats, $350,000. So that's the total of all the federal programs broken down in categories.
Can you give us a quick snippet on carbon reduction program and protect formula program?
Yes, so carbon reduction, we are doing some projects, auxiliary lanes, where we add a little capacity between interchanges in urbanized areas. We've done some projects along those lines. We've done some work with our TMCs, traffic management centers, to help get people off the road and out of the way and clear out accidents. So that's considered an eligible charge for carbon reduction. Protect, a lot of what we've done with the Protect formula money is focused primarily in Mobile and Baldwin County, working on bridges related to hurricane issues. That's the biggest issue that we spent that money on.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Next category is state public road and bridge funds. The largest single category is the match required for our federal funds, almost $190 million. Here is the match requirements for our debt service for all three programs we just mentioned in the federal program. The next several are different roadway or different maintenance categories. Routine maintenance is obviously our largest. Roadway maintenance, our preliminary engineering under state maintenance, resurfacing, bridge maintenance, traffic maintenance, miscellaneous, and emergency. All told, those are about $185 million, all seven of those. State construction, $19.5 million. Our administrative overhead is $95. That's all the personnel and fringe costs that we're not eligible to recover through the federal aid program. Other equipment's $12 million. Excuse me. Land and building is $7.5. State comptroller is $552,000, and then our insurance and maintenance plans are $5.5. You add all those up, it's $522.5. You add the appropriations from the previous page, and you get to the $550 that was shown on the first page for the summary. Yes, sir.
Just out of curiosity, on the insurance and maintenance plans, how often are those shopped around, or what's the process for that?
So things that are included in that are our flood insurance for the tunnel control facility down in Mobile, and then our maintenance of our office equipment and IT hardware. That is, there is an RFP that's put out for those on a routine, probably every 2 to 4 years, okay. Representative. That's also, a portion of that is our portion of the cost for the e-procure system Alabama buys. And then the rest of it is property and auto insurance. And we, same thing, that's worked through a procurement process.
Okay.
Last thing is our Rebuild Alabama Act funds. We identify about $19 million that we could potentially use to match federal projects, and the rest is divided among the three categories, although if you recall, system preservation is not one that we've utilized in the past. We've been able to address that through our federal program. So right now, our intent is to spend Rebuild Alabama Act between the congestion relief program and the economic development program that is prescribed in the Rebuild Alabama Act. We show it as evenly distributed, as we always do. We just have to move that money around a little bit based on what those projects actually bid for throughout the year. You add all that up, it's 183.2. You take the 81.8 million from the first page for the appropriations and transfers, and you get to the 265 total for that.
All right. There are questions? All right. Hearing, yes, Representative Wilcox.
Checking to make sure that any of the people online have any questions.
Okay.
Representative,
Senator Smitherman.
am I being heard?
Senator Smitherman,
Yes.
we can hear you.
I did good. I don't have any questions. I was on earlier and couldn't get hooked up, but they got me hooked up. I just wanted to hear I was on.
You're too late, Senator. We might mark you absent.
I just
That's
got
all right.
on.
As long as you cut me a piece of cake for 18, I'm all right.
We got you. We got you.
Thank you.
Okay.
District it on.
Hearing no
Senator,
questions.
I was just got on myself.
Okay, Senator Sessions is on.
Mr. Chairman, Elliott here.
Did I?
Quick question,
I didn't
if I
hear
may.
anybody. We got you, Senator Elliott.
Ed, that's why they don't give you the disconnect button, buddy.
That's right.
I had a question about the 19 million. So the 19 million out of, I guess that's 183 used to match Fed dollars. What project is that on?
It's not on any one particular project, Senator. That's based on what we've done over past years. We've spent on average about 18, 19, 20 million dollars to match a project that had rebuild money, federal money and rebuild money in it. Some of those were preliminary engineering type work where we were advancing a project using the Rebuild Alabama Act in order to get it to construction a little bit quicker. So it's no one particular project. It's could be multiple projects.
Okay, so the rest of those rebuild dollars are all state dollars then on those projects. Is that correct?
Well, it depends on which projects you're talking about. But so let's say, I'm trying to think of something down close to you. The I-10 project where we did the widening over in Mobile County, that's a county over, but it's the first one I can think of. There was widening in that project, capacity improvement, as well as a resurfacing. So the resurfacing part of it, we use federal dollars, whereas with the capacity, we try to use rebuild money to help pay for that, because that federal money that we would have used for the widening was already programmed for something else in the STIP. So in order to expedite that project, we'll combine those and do them that way.
Very good. I may follow up with you a little bit more, Ed, but I'll wait till next week. Thanks, guys.
Sounds good.
All righty. Any further questions? All righty. Moving on, the next item is the ALDOT STIP link. And does anybody want to give us any thoughts on that? Tony, Ed? Just, I guess, kind of remind everybody of how all that works.
Senator, thank you. We are.
Hey, what's the senator's cell phone number?
Hey, Yvonne. Yvonne, we can hear you.
Yes. Sorry. Sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead, Tony.
Senator, our STIP is a 4-year plan prescribed that way by the Federal Highway Administration. It is always available on our website, and so that's really the update I would provide, that we're in the next to last year, the 3rd year of the plan, and probably in about 14 months or so, we'll go into the process for public involvement to renew the plan. That renewal would begin late 27 and run for 4 years after that. So that process, you're all familiar with that process, or should be. We do extensive public involvement opportunities for local governments and communities around the state, and that'll be coming up in about a year's time.
So remind me, the local TIPs, the local transportation improvement plans, are they going through and updating some of those now? Because I saw a notice about something.
So what you're seeing is the long range plan. There's terminology in the act that creates this committee that refers to the STIP as the long range plan. This is an even longer range plan that the public involvement process is ongoing for now. That's a 20-year outlook type of plan. So it would include things outside of the required STIP window. And Ed alluded to this earlier. Anything in the STIP must be the STIP must be fiscally constrained for the projected available revenues within that 4-year window of time. So this is looking out longer range.
So we can't use some of that federal deficit to balance our plan like they do?
No.
I wasn't going to make you answer that, but anyway. Okay, other questions?
But I guess to close, just remind all of you that if you ever have questions about the STIP, it is available on our website. Over the last few years, we've made improvements to that site and how you access that and how it's interactive. You can access projects that are in the STIP either by county or by out region. And if you ever have any questions about what's in your STIP or anything in general, you can reach me, or you can reach Ed or your region folks. Thank you.
All right. Any last questions? All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
This is Senator Coleman Babson. I have one question.
Okay. Senator, do you have a question, or are you just wanting your attendance recorded?
Yeah, do that too, but I have a question.
Okay.
We've gotten some notices about some public comment, and I don't know if you covered it already. Public comment period of improvements that ALDOT is making. And of course, I'm in Central Alabama. But when will this? Well, it's supposed to go online. I think it's a survey or something, and I don't think I've ever been able to find the link. It makes mention of it, but I've not been able to find the link. It's a public comment.
Senator, I can make sure, this is Tony Harris, I can make sure you get that link. We have publicized that through the news media and through social media, and the local regional planning commissions are also helping to promote that for the purposes of their local transportation improvement plans. But we'll make sure that you get that link through your Senate office.
Yeah, well, you can just send it to Yvonne, and Yvonne will get it out to the full membership.
Easy enough. Yep. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Senator.
You're welcome.
All righty. Moving on to our last item is the 2025 Roadshow final analysis. Vice Chair, Co-Chair, Madam Chair, the Honorable Queen.
Or just plain Margie.
Margie. Yeah, just Margie.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We just completed the road show. Thank you to Vaughn Jackson, our policy advisor. She did a project manager. She did a wonderful, wonderful job. And of course, Representative Parker Moore, who helped line up a lot of our stops and was our local on the ground guy. We actually went far beyond on this road show. You know, we're saying that roads are not everything that we do. We literally went to space on this one while touring the United Launch Alliance, which we went and saw the rockets being built. It was an extraordinary facility. I'm so glad we went. And then we thank our sponsors for our luncheon that we wound up going to. And let me go ahead and make sure to mention some of those. That was the Alabama Grocers Association, Pat McWhorter, Will Fuller with Capital Resources, and Lauren Vandiver Pelto with Tennessee Valley. And after we did that, we went to the Travel and Tourism Facility at the Decatur Morgan County Tourism Center. Then we went to the Space and Rocket Center and had, I know that we were able to go by there a couple of years ago as the legislature, but we got an in-depth tour with actual rocket scientists giving us the tour. And then we did have a little fun and ride a couple of their rides in the park. Some of the things, the rocket park that they've added, and some of the stuff to make it meaningful to the kids that come. And then just as a reminder, they did ask us to remind all legislators about the SALSA applications to make your scholarship picks known. And we got to tour part of that school. It's an amazing facility and educational experience for our younger citizens, and I encourage everybody to, if you have a child in the age groups, to send them to it. And then we went to the Cooks Museum, which I honestly didn't know about the Cooks Museum. That was quite extraordinary, that the Cooks Pest Control family started, and so it's a natural history museum, quite extraordinary, and an opportunity for STEM studies in the northern part of the state. And then I worked at an airport for 30 years. I was blown away by the Huntsville Airport and the complex that they have, the intermodal facility that they have there. Only one part of or 2 parts of our roadshow, weather prevented us from watching a rocket being loaded onto the barge to travel downriver. And then the federal shutdown prevented us from going on to Redstone. But otherwise, what an extraordinary tour. Great to be in that part of the state and see what that has to offer as far as transportation. And if I've left anything out, Representative Parker? More? Yeah. So thank you for everybody, especially kudos to Vaughn. And then we had some House staffers and Senate staffers that came with us. It was just first class from start to finish. So I literally had a hands-off approach on this and was just as surprised and delighted as everybody else. Any of the other participants want to make a comment?
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Singleton.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I too would like to echo, that was a great road show. I actually attended one day, could not stay for the second day, but I actually had an awesome experience in North Alabama, thanks to Representative Parker Moore, who was our personal tour guide, and made sure that we understood exactly how things work. And I also want to thank Ms. Von Jackson and her staff, and Madam Co-Chairman for doing a great job. And Madam Co-Chair and Mr. Chair, and I don't know if I'm actually in order or not, but at this time, just thinking about the work that Ms. Jackson has done, I don't know if this young lady has been given a raise on her stipend or not, but I'd love to have a motion entertained to raise her stipend, to give her more stipend, at least $3,000, to make sure that she continue to do the work that she's been doing.
I tell you what, why don't we vote for that? I don't, if we choose, I don't know the process and all that, but we can take the wishes of the committee. So there's a motion.
I apologize for the surprise, but I just think she's doing a
I'll
great
make the
job.
second.
No, and there's no question about that. So there's a second by Parker Moore, Representative Moore. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, and we'll work out the logistics of that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Madam
Sir.
Co-Chair.
All righty. Is there anything else?
Thank you.
What was that? Somebody
That was me saying thank you.
Oh, okay. All righty. We want to go over is there anybody that you have as not present, Madam Co-Chair?
All right, we'll go back through. We have Representative Rolanda Hollis.
She's on.
She's on.
We have her.
Hello.
Okay.
We've got your representative.
Okay.
Thank
And then
you.
we have Representative A.J. McCampbell. Senator Tim Melson. Senator Jabbo Wagner. Otherwise, everybody is present and accounted for.
Okay. All right, well, great. We appreciate everybody being here today and those online, and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I don't either.
I wasn't thinking I knew I was going to see you today anyway. I wouldn't have invited you yet.